Coming up tonight, calls for a public inquiry into maternity care after a coroner rules failure to recognise his mother's rare medical condition contributed to baby Orlando's death.
What scares us is that this is not an isolated event, and we know of many other families that are going through the same agony as us.
The hospital trust says there's an urgent need for new guidelines. Good evening. A couple whose baby died at 2 weeks old are calling for a public inquiry into maternity care after a coroner ruled that failure to recognise his mother's rare medical condition contributed to their baby's death. Orlando Davis was starved of oxygen at birth because his mother was ill and suffered seizures. An inquest at Chichester heard a number of midwives and clinicians say they had never heard of the condition, hyponatremia. James Ingham has been following the inquest.
Orlando Davis lived for just 2 weeks. Deprived of oxygen during his birth, he suffered severe brain damage and could never recover. But he may never have died had it not been for a series of failings, missed opportunities and neglectful care.
The acceptance that Orlando should never have died. It's very, very painful to hear that. We've always known that.
It's a relief to finally hear those words. I think the whole process has made me feel like I'm going insane a little bit. I've always known the truth. I know what happened to me, but when you read witness statements that are telling you otherwise, it's so damaging to your mental health.
During her home labour, Orlando's mother Robin developed a rare condition called hyponatremia, low sodium in her blood. Midwives told the inquest they saw no signs of anything wrong with Robin, but the coroner said they failed to recognise a change in her mental state and ignored her concerns.
It was a horrific time. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, and I didn't truthfully know what was wrong with me. I just knew that something wasn't right. And I know that if I was taken seriously, I would have at least hopefully had a better outcome than this dire situation.
Robin was by then hyponatremic, but even after being taken to hospital, a lack of knowledge meant it wasn't picked up. She began having seizures, which deprived Orlando of oxygen, causing brain damage. Senior coroner Penelope Schofield said that Robin's medical condition went completely unrecognised during her labour, and she didn't receive the care or medical attention that she and her son Orlando required. She ruled that neglect by midwives and doctors had contributed to his death. If it hadn't been for a continuous series of shortcomings, she said, it is more likely than not that Orlando would have been saved. Sussex Hospital's NHS Trust has apologised to the couple. Addressing the lack of knowledge about hyponatremia, it said in a statement, "We support the coroner's view that there is an urgent need for new national guidelines. This tragedy has led directly to us introducing new guidance and training within our maternity service." But Robin and Johnny remain angry and upset that it's taken more than 2 years to get to today. They say it should not have taken their son to die for improvements to be made.
The Trust has at every course, not just the individuals, but the representatives, had absolutely zero compassion, empathy and admittance of issue and fault. They all stuck by, if they had a time machine, they would go back to that same time and do nothing to change the outcome, which we feel is just disgraceful.
Robin and Johnny now have a new baby to care for, but they'll never forget their brief time with Orlando. They want a national inquiry into maternity services in the hope other deaths can be prevented in future. James Ingham, BBC South Today, Chichester.